so much for downloading the latest episode. Today, Paula and I are talking about how August sucks. We're also talking a little television, Bachelor in Paradise. Also, don't put Vick's Vapor Rub on your vagina. We talk about this and our ugly and awkward moments of the week. Thank you so much. Enjoy the show.
It's another uncensored look at the world around you, from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie?
What are you doing? Why are you trying to bond with me?
Paula?
Either you gotta slow down or I'm gonna have to hold on to these bad boys.
Uncensored as always, it's time for the Ugly Truth.
Welcome to the Ugly Truth. It is episode 394.
We are sisters, and we podcast.
Okay, so this is what was really... The other day, I had to go to the freaking grocery store. I don't know. I feel like I'm the one that predominantly goes. And when I get the rare luxury of Daryl not coming with me, because he's my Pablo, where he just wants to be near me all the time. When I get to go by myself, not only is it incredibly quick and swift, I'm in and out in like 10 minutes, which is awesome. I'm standing at the register, and so I'm getting everything, and the girl is bagging, and she rips the handle off of the bag, and she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no big deal. And then she sneezed, but she like ran away and sneezed from afar, and then did the whole like Purell and everything like that. And she's like, I apologize. I am so sorry. I'm like, yes, God forbid you're human. It's fine. And
I'm like, how were you? The Bergdorfs or something? I mean, geez, or Bergdorfs or whatever that store's name.
No, it was at freaking Bel Air in Gold River. It's like freaking nothing. There's river cats that walk around in the parking lot. It is not fancy. So anyway, I just thought it was really funny. I'm like, this is not the way this would go down if Daryl was here. It would be super different. Anyway, it is August. Shit's getting real for parents who have children. Some kids have even gone back to school already.
I know, I saw that. They're just like, first day of school. I'm like, oh my God. Like, it was cool for them, but I'm just like, ugh, I'm still in my nightgown and it's like 1:00 p.m. I would not be ready for this right now.
And I was like, okay, so although I don't have any school age, legally required to attend school age children, I do have one who's going to be heading off to college in a couple of weeks. And I asked her, I said, hey, do you need to like buy books? I mean, if I've learned anything from Legally Blonde is that you have homework before you even start school.
Well, they have to go to like that used textbook store and stuff, because aren't like books like $500 or something?
They're like between $30 and $150 to $200 depending on the class. But what I've also noticed is that a lot of schools are going digital. And you can just
like Kindle or something, or
yeah, you can download the book. And honestly, buying a Kindle or an iPad is way cheaper than buying $200-$300 books. It's worth it. And then you have it forever, and you can download semester after semester. I don't know why they don't do that now in high school, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but you're also assuming that you're dealing with teachers that are technologically savvy. I mean, Ryan's teacher last year, he got marked down a point because he didn't have like white binder ring stickers on his paper.
What?
Yeah, because she required them on every, paper they turned in. So we had to go and find these, they were practically like archaic. We could hardly find them. These little like white ring binder stickers. I think we even went to the store. We asked, and she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Never mind." I'm like, "We'll find them ourselves." I knew what they were. Of course, it was her last year of teaching. She was getting ready to retire. And
what a shock!
And I'm like, "Well, aren't we lucky?"
Aren't we fortunate to only have to endure this hell for one more semester? Congratulations.
I'm sure he's going to get a top-notch education this year in science.
And he will always remember those paper circles that no one ever uses, where you have to go to the mom and pop store that's clearancing out their items because Walmart moved in. They might have some.
And the worst part is she was the one that taught sex ed. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm
Lord.
like, I'm sure every time she takes off her underwear, moths fly out of there. What does she know about anything? God.
So
it's probably grown back. I don't know, scaled over with,
it's been fused.
Psoriasis or something. I don't know. I don't know what happens down there when you get old.
Anyway, although you are enduring the search for the perfect backpack so that they will be accepted by the appropriate friends in school, I have no air conditioner. It is dead. It's broken. Yeah, it's absolutely broken. And
I
so
thought you
now
said the guy was coming over yesterday or something.
he did. He did come over with a bunch of stuff to repair the air conditioning unit. And basically the most expensive part, basically the motor of the thing is dying. It's like it works for about an hour and then it overheats because it does something. Anybody who understands air conditioning is probably going, I know what she's saying. Anyway, I believe it's the condenser is dead, it is dying or something. And so
I don't know why you're explaining this to me.
Paula, I don't want to know. I told you last time we talked about this.
Dead. That's all I need to know.
It is dying. And so we have two options. We can buy a whole new unit. Okay. Or we can buy the one piece that needs to be replaced because he's replaced every other thing in the last 5 years.
So it's basically like a Frankenstein air conditioner.
Well, he said, listen, if you were going to die here, I would suggest buying a new unit. If you're not going to be here more than 10 years, just replace the condenser. The thing will live another 10 years and you'll be done with it.
Well, you guys are talking about retiring at some point, so.
Well, first of all, the house is too big for long term. We don't need a house this large. We will never need a 4-bedroom, 3-bath ever again once everyone clears out. So
not for the two of you, yeah.
No, and so we will sell this home whether we move to our dreamland or whether we just move to a smaller place. It's not going to be here. Mm-hmm. So my point is, we're going with just the piece, the unit, not the whole unit. Just
how
the
did
condenser.
They compare in price though?
A lot.
Oh, okay.
A lot, yeah. It would be $5,000 to buy a whole new unit.
Holy crap!
Or way less than that. So we're going the way less route.
God, why the hell are those things so? You know what? Ours was that when we owned our house. I think we spent like $8,000 on a new unit.
Here's the thing with all of this. I don't want to know about it. I don't want to know why things aren't working. I don't want to know the name of parts. I don't want to know any of it. I just want to open up something, press a button, and be done with it. I am perfect for a human being that lives in an apartment where I just call someone and say, something's not right. You deal with it. And please don't share with me the information. Just tell me how much it's going to cost and we'll be done. I don't want to know. I don't want to know about modems or wires or condenser units or refrigerant. I don't want to know anything. There are parts of me that say I was not meant to be this way. I realize that we are from royalty, from some old European world where we had horses and Spaniards guarding our rooms, and we were dressed in the finest of silks and were served the finest of fruits and vegetables. Those are our people. It is not maintenance people. It is not any of it. I don't take pride in knowing that I know what a refrigerant is. I don't care. I don't care. I want to know about art. I want to know about shoes and jewels.
I'm like, why can't I just go back to looking at shoes and playing on Facebook? You know,
I just want a life of luxury. I want to toil at things that are important to me, not having to have fans running and knowing where to purchase the said fan. I just want it to appear.
Do you know how many times I flush the toilet and then like I look just to make sure everything's gone.
Yes.
You know, I sometimes believe I'm the only one that does that in the house, but you know,
based on previous experience, I'm sure that's true.
Yes. And so, but when I do, and then I just see the one little flap of toilet paper just out there, and I'm just like, why didn't you flush all the way? What's wrong with you? Please don't make me tell me that I have to plunge pee because I don't know why you won't flush. And I'll just walk away. I'm just like, I'm not dealing with it right now.
I just want to go, Bitterman, there's an extra piece of toilet paper in the toilet. Please
fix
deal with it. Please fix this. I want people to hate me for my ridiculous lack of knowledge. You know what I mean? I want people to go, she knows nothing about anything that has to do with air conditioning or cable or anything. I'm like, you're right. I don't know a fucking thing, but Unfortunately, I do.
It's bad enough that when I'm driving down the street and I hear like a sound and I'm just like, oh, they got a bad fan belt, because of how we were raised.
Because now.
I know everything about that kind of stuff. And they're just like, well, it's got a leak. I'm like, is it up front? Was it clear? I'm like, it might be a bad radiator.
The difference is that I go through, I feel like Goldie Hawn in that movie, Saving Private Ryan, Private Benjamin.
I'm like, that was Meg Ryan. No, wait, that was Courage Under Fire. Never mind.
No, I definitely understand the princess mentality. Is green the only color this comes in? I want that to be my life. I want to be able to discover what's important to me versus what I'm required to know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to act like I want to be a spoiled bitch, even though I probably do want to be those things.
I don't think I could ever be that.
I want the option of deciding what I need to know and learn in life. I don't want to be forced to listen to a discussion about megahertz and download speed and what is an MP. I don't know. I don't want to know. And now I know. And I never wanted to know those things.
I agree.
I know. It's so true. All right. So that's August in a nutshell.
I can't wait for the kids to go back to school is what I'm saying.
What is the oversharing that you wanted to overshare with us?
Okay. Well, I'm sure it's not just me, but I updated my LinkedIn profile the other day because it kept talking about like HR this, HR that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I should really change this. I kept getting emails from like rando recruiter sites that aren't even real. They're just like, send us all your information. We'll tell you about the job. And I'm like, yeah, right. Mm-hmm. I changed it to all real estate stuff because I'm just like, well, maybe I should just do this and like, get my name out there and just let people know I'm studying and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So one of my old business partners contacted me and he's just like, hey, how's it going? He's like, so you're going to start doing real estate, huh? And so I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, I was at HR for like, blah, blah, blah. And, my ex and I split up. And so I'm just like, well, I need to get back into the industry and, but, being out 4 years, it was just so long and nobody would hire me and blah, blah, blah. And so I basically told him the whole story.
Your whole life.
And so then he replies, well, good luck. Bye.
Oh my God.
Or he just replied, well, good luck. And then I was just like, oh, I'm like,
why did I tell him what is this, a dating site?
Well, I just kind of felt like, what was I supposed to say?
Just say, yeah, I am.
I don't know. Do you ever find yourself like just telling people too much or?
Always. Are you kidding?
Right.
It's the story of my life.
That's the whole thing is I'm just like, why would you ask if you didn't want to know?
I don't even think it's about that. It's just about we have so much going on inside our brains that we just have to get it out. That's who we are. That's what Uggs are. We just don't not say things. Like we can't help ourselves. You know what I mean?
I'm always been a very descriptive person. In fact, I remember one time when I worked at the TV station, the news director, he's just like, God, he's like, you just have a way of describing things.
Yeah.
I just kind of feel like, if you ask, I'm just going to tell you, what's going on. And then, but people get uncomfortable and I'm just like, well, what did you just ask me a superficial question so I could give you a superficial answer? Or what was the point of this whole conversation? I'm not understanding.
Here's the thing. I don't know about you, but I am horrible at small talk. I don't do it. I'm bad at it. I don't have small talk friends. Like, some of those people who have like hundreds of friends and go, oh, let's do drinks. And then there's like 10 of them sitting around having cocktails and nobody knows shit about anybody. Mm-hmm. I don't feel comfortable in those situations. I'm not a fan.
I was never good at those, especially in HR, because HR people are notoriously drunks after like conferences or business meetings or whatever. So if you're out of town and you have like this all day meeting and then everyone goes to dinner or for cocktails, everyone gets like obliterated.
They just get shit faced.
But for some reason, they can still keep intact like their mouths or
they won't
whatever.
Talk shit about everything. Like, oh my God, you guys.
They can still be, I guess, professional or, whatever. Right. I am not that way, unfortunately.
Are you sloppy?
You know how I am. And so the next day, I get judged terribly. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm like, you assholes, So eventually I just stopped drinking because I'm just like, and I don't talk. I stop drinking and I don't speak.
You've learned.
I just smile and I say hi, and I usually just keep to myself because I'm just like, it's not safe. It's just not safe.
For people like us, it's definitely true. I can hear myself when I start going on too long. And I'm like, why can't I stop? Why can't I just shut my face and just be like everyone else and just nod and yes. Oh, yes, this is a fabulous event. I can't do it.
No.
I'm walking up to the caterer going, stuffy people, am I right? Or it's
I
like,
know. I do the same thing. Like I try and like relate to someone on a different level, and they
Yes!
just kind of look at me like, "What the fuck?
what are you
know?
doing? Why are you trying to bond with me?
I'm like Jennifer Aniston in Along Came Polly, where she's serving wine and someone has like, you know, a quarter of a glass left of white wine and then she just dumps red in there.
Yeah.
That's me.
Well, I just, you know, or if I'll take a bite of something at some event, I'll take a bite. I'm like, this has got goat cheese in it. I fucking hate goat cheese. And they're just like, okay, well, thank you for sharing.
We literally have no filter. I'll walk into a room and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, what's that smell? You know, and like someone will like look over and hear me and my face is just totally like, you know, horrific.
So like, what are you talking about?
I can't hide my, you know, facial expressions either. So
No.
I'll be standing there looking, I'll listen to people talk and I'll just be staring at them like, what the hell are they talking about? Like, what did she just say? You know?
I have literally had Daryl go, honey, you
Stop
need to
staring at this
you need to be
people."
like, you need to chill. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, your face. You look like you're ready to kill someone. I'm like, oh, sorry. I guess my thoughts of hatred are coming out on my face today. I don't mean to do it. It just happens. I can't help myself. Oh God, I'm the worst. We're the worst. But you know what? Everyone knows where we stand. Everybody knows what we're thinking. They never have to be concerned about us talking shit because we'll do it right to their face. You know, it's an honest place to be. It's like, I am so relieved that I don't lie to people because I never have to worry. I may forget, but I definitely meant it.
Well, it's funny because Victor and I have been at events before and I'm sitting there like, you know, like my mouth partially open and my eyes look a little bit mortified and I'm staring at something and he's like, what is wrong? And I'm like, that couple over there, short of pointing, I'm kind of like, you know, tipping my head in that direction.
Right.
And I'm like, that couple over there, I'm like, they've been fighting for like 10 minutes. And I'm like,
I do that too.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure she just called him a dick face, but I'm not sure. And
oh my God.
But it looks really bad. I think he's talking about I think she's mad because that girl over there in the red dress, I'm positive he was staring at her for like 5 minutes and she was gone getting a plate in the buffet line. And you know, I've totally like concocted this whole story. And then Victor's just like, what?
Did I tell you? I did not tell you this, but it was about a month or two, we went to Domaine Carneros. We were there for something and it was some work thing. And then we decided the next day we would go to our favorite winery and have a glass of wine and then go home. So I excused myself to go to the restroom. And when I come back, I caught Daryl staring at a woman, like hardcore, craning his neck, staring.
God!
And
oh my God.
Here's the thing. She was the total opposite of me. She was older, very, very tall and blonde. But not a stunner. Not a stunner. It wasn't anything like that. And so I watch him walk, and he's like cranking his neck because they're walking by to get to their table. It was like a party. And so I come in, I'm like, you're going to hurt your neck there, bud. He's like, what are you talking about? I go, could you stare at those women any longer? Because it was two of them. He's like, I wasn't staring at them. I'm like, yeah, you were. I caught you. I'm watching you doing it. I'm watching you. I'm like, come on. I'm like, if I had a phone, I would have videoed it. And he's like, I was not. I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and play this game. All right, you weren't. What were you looking at then? That was making your neck turn completely, like doing a 180. Like what were I was just looking at.
Is there a bald eagle around here?
Like did you know them? Did you think that they were familiar to you?
Let me guess. You think you went to school with one of those, right?
And he's like, no. And I'm like, all right, he is going to die on this hill. I can already tell.
I would have just kept quiet and it just would have let him talk.
And he's like, they're not my type, honey. They're not my type. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that unless they looked like Kim Kardashian, that they weren't your type. They're female, so it's your type.
They have vaginas, and they have breasts, they have asses. Right. So I'm pretty sure they're every man's type.
Yeah, they're female. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't think there's anything wrong. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think because it's like, do I look at other men that don't look like Daryl? Yeah. So, I mean, maybe
there was something particularly striking about her that he found very attractive. I mean, that can happen.
Yeah.
That can really happen.
The thing is that I am okay. So we've made it abundantly clear. I have body issues for sure. Like I'm very.
We all do.
Yeah, I am not someone who looks at myself and thinks, "Oh, I've got it going on." I mean, I'm not also ashamed of my body, and I definitely am confident sexually and physically. I can go out and I don't feel like I'm shameful, but I definitely look in the mirror and go, how the hell is this even happening to you? Like, why?
That reminds me of that Ellen skit that she does where she's just like, look at me and there's my ass. And she's like looking in the mirror at the store. And then she's all, and then you get home and you get out of the chair and you're staring at your mirror and then you look like this.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's
you're
awful.
like stomach's hanging out and you're just standing there like a pudge of nothing.
Daily, Paula, daily. I look at myself naked in the mirror and I go, plastic surgery is your only option, that or starvation.
Do you know how many times I stand sideways?
Paula, no, don't do that to yourself. I stopped doing that.
I lift up my skin, I lift up my butt, I suck in, and I like push my boobs together, and I'm like, if I could just do this for the rest of my life, I would look amazing.
The worst thing that I've ever done is look at myself brushing my teeth.
Oh, it looks just like you're having doggy style sex.
So I'm leaning over because unlike the movies, when I brush my teeth, toothpaste goes everywhere. In fact, the other day I was brushing my teeth and I dropped my toothbrush and I got it all over my shirt and my boobs everywhere. And it was super violent. And Daryl's like, "Are you all right up there?" I'm like, "Shut up."
I should show you a meme I saw where a guy was brushing his teeth while listening to metal, and he was bald, and he wound up getting like toothpaste all over his head and his face.
Oh my
and
God.
stuff. He was like, ah! Just brushing his teeth everywhere.
I want that kind of positivity in my life when I'm brushing my teeth. That's great. All I'm doing is brushing my teeth going, God, these might fall out one day. I mean, it's like I'm constant paranoia, but I had bent over and I was brushing my teeth and I got like a partial side profile and I was like, oh my God. It was very terrible. I'm like, I'm no longer eating. That's it. That's it. I'm existing on eucalyptus leaves and water. That's it.
No, I can't brush my teeth without any top on because my boobs just slap together. And I'm just like, it's just like having doggy style sex. Once they get going at a good clip, I'm just like, Jesus, you know?
You're going to be one of those women that just wears a bra during sex so you can just not deal with it.
Or I'll be one of those women that sleeps with like a teddy bear between her boobs at night so they don't like start sagging or something like that. I'll get the titty bear.
I told Daryl the other day, I said, I have sloppy tits. And he's like, He's like, why would you say that? And I said, because I do. He goes, okay, first of all, no, you don't. I go, do you know what a sloppy tits are? And he's like, no. And I said, just big, bleh, you know, not just hangy, whatever.
They go everywhere.
And he's like, okay, no, you don't. And I said, you're only saying that because I'm the only tits you have access to, okay? So let's be real. That's not true. They're sloppy. And they're not saggy though. That's the thing. So, but they're big. They're big, so they're everywhere. You know, to me, that's
constantly.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what position you are. You could be on top and they're just dangling right in their face, or depending on how far you go down, they're just in their face.
He doesn't,
you know, suffocating. I don't
know too many men who hate that, but yeah.
Or if you're on your back and they're like, you know, elevated at all, then they're just like, you know, slopping up and down.
Oh, please. I'm at the point now where I just grab them. I just hold on for the
I had to at one point because it started to hurt. Yeah. I'm just like, you know, either you got to slow down or I'm going to have to hold on to these bad boys.
I just hold on to them and then they're like, oh, yeah. You know, because they that for some reason is a thing. So I just do.
Whatever. I know. And then the doggy style, of course, is just like, I'm like, well, I can't let go of these sheets. So I got to...
I hold on to the end. I mean, are you kidding? I'm hooked in. I've got my hands on the end of the mattress right under the headboard and I'm like hanging on. I'm like, okay, here we go.
I said, we're just going to have a round of applause here the whole time. So...
Oh my God.
Cheering you on. Go!
Clap, 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 clap. Slow clap, everyone. Here we go.
So it starts out as a slow clap, and then it's a gracious applause. Yay!
Yeah, exactly. Okay, really quick before we get into our ugly and awkward moments of the week, I wanted to tell you that, and this is a shock to me as well, I am completely and utterly sold on Bachelors in Paradise.
Okay, what is that? Because I keep seeing all these shows about people with different people doing sex things in tropical areas.
Okay.
So I don't know which show is which.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. Now, I have never been a fan of The Bachelorette or The Bachelor. I've never I think I watched like the first season 100 years ago because it was a whole new concept of dating show. Back then, I think if you were to go back and look at it, it was probably incredibly tame, very vanilla. Everybody wanted to find love, and maybe they legitimately did. Now, obviously, it has changed quite a bit since then. It's very tawdry, and everybody's fucking everywhere. So,
That's gross.
I know, and I can't even handle that. And first of all, never would I compete for a man ever. I don't do that. I would never do that. This is a show about getting some FaceTime, model, actor, whatever. So Bachelor in Paradise is previous contestants who did not win on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, whether they were vying for a rose from a man or were one of the women and they were the Bachelor. You know what I mean? Like, they were all contestants trying to win the affections of the chosen man or woman.
So trying to win a rose.
Right. Whether it was male or female.
Okay. Right.
They take these people from
The rejects.
from a variety of seasons, and they put them on an island to give them kind of like a second chance at love. There are several that know each other because they competed during the same season, or it's all new. So there's a bartender, and Daryl's like, I want to be the bartender. Daryl is all in on this. We are all in on it. We are watching this and we are loving it. It is so fun to watch. There is so much drama. And here's what the thing is. I'm constantly criticizing when I watch it, and Daryl laughs at me because most of the men are in there's some men that are in their 30s. I'm like, these men shouldn't even be on the show. If you're 30 to 34 and you're on the show, you have a problem. You have an emotional issue. Because most men in their 30s have their shit together when it comes to deciding if they want to be married or not. By 30, they usually figured it out. If they aren't married at 30, they probably don't have any interest in it for whatever reason. And I'm speaking generally, but that's pretty much the case. I've never met a 30-year-old man who certainly wanted to get married and couldn't find anyone.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And these people are beautiful. So it's not like it's hard for them to find someone to be attracted to. And so, but the women are all they're like 22, 23, 24. And then the ones that are a little longer in the tooth, that are like 30, 31, they look it. And I don't know why they're there either.
I would hate myself. I'd be like, get away from me, you skinny little bitch.
Yeah. But what's funny is how there's a couple of girls, and they're constantly crying because they feel like they've been used or they were dismissed by this one guy. And I'm just like, oh yeah, I forgot she's 23. She had sex with him and thought, this is my husband.
Oh, she did?
I can't even begin to tell you how much of it is ridiculous. Here's the other thing that I'm struggling with is that when they say, because, there's all these people and they're all trying to vie for a rose. It's like next week's show, the women will have the roses and the men will be, they're going to be adding more men. So there's this constant competition to try to create a connection with someone. So when a guy goes, hey, can I talk to you for a minute, Hannah? Yeah, sure. So she pulls him aside and he goes, I really feel a connection with you, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, that sounds really great. And then they kiss. Everybody's constantly kissing each other on the show. And I'm like, I can't with the kissing, especially when there's a girl that there's a girl that like 3 or 4 guys want to get with, and she makes out with all of them. And I'm
aren't they afraid of getting like herpes or something?
I don't
like
know.
That, or,
and
like,
the thing is that there's
cold sore.
There's absolutely no guarantee that these people aren't fucking too. And so it's like, I can't with this cesspool of VD that might potentially be going around.
I mean, that just sounds like a petri dish waiting for
my God.
Meningitis or, I don't know.
Aren't her lips tired? She is never not having her tongue down someone's throat constantly. And they've been there for 3 days. And it's like, I can't with this bitch. I'm like, look, she can be a hoe if she wants to. I mean, here's the thing. I would do this show if I was 23 and hot. I'd be all in. I'm like, fuck yeah. I mean, there's like 8 gorgeous men who want to have sex with me. Yes. I mean, Why not? I would do it. But what's killing me is this constantly every 20 minutes she's kissing some other dude. I'm like, my mouth would be tired. I'd be over it.
See, I used to make out with a ton of guys like in my 20s, but never in the same night.
Oh God, it's constant.
And never
Paula.
at the same location. That's disgusting.
And
you know,
Daryl,
I was loyal.
I was loyal for at least 24 hours.
I was loyal to the same person at the bar.
Right. Right. So Daryl's watching. He goes, I want to be the bartender. And I'm like, you do? He goes, that guy is stirring up some shit. And I'm like, right. I highly encourage it. I never would, but please record it so that you can fast forward through the 4 hours of commercials. But
I'll try, but it sounds pretty nauseating.
Paula, I'm telling you, I thought the same thing. And now I can't stop watching it. And everybody else and these are some brilliant, smart women that I know in my life. They're like, I cannot get enough of this show. It's so tawdry and it's just so fun to watch. I can't with it. It's great.
If I can get through 2 seasons of Rock of Love with Bret Michaels, I'm sure I can watch this.
I think you can. Okay. And then one more thing. I kind of don't even want to do it because I know we'll talk about it for a really long time, but I'm going to do it. You had posted a thing about how women are using Vicks Vapor Rub on their snatch.
Well, I read an article about it and I was a bit shocked because I'm just like, I don't even know how this got on the table.
Well, I will tell you, I did a little bit more research on that and I thought, is this one of those things where one person did it? And
please don't tell me it's a goop thing.
No.
Okay.
But this is something that has been going on for years. Because I thought, is this some stupid thing where they go, don't do it. One person did it. No. Women have been using Vicks Vapor Rub to ease the itch of the vagina, outer labia itching. And so I read the article and then I Googled, why are women using Vicks Vapor Rub on their vagina? So I Googled it and an article from 2005 came up and said there's a forum where women can ask questions that they're embarrassed to ask or whatever. So I looked at the original question from like November of 2005 and it said, I can't believe this, but I had this incredibly bad itch on my outer vagina labia. And so I used Vicks Vapor Rub and it eased it immediately. And I was so relieved. I wanted to know, is this safe? And so everybody's like, no, girl, it is not safe. Do not put that shit down there. It's got eucalyptus. You'll burn yourself. Mm-hmm. And other women go, actually, I do it too. And it really soothes an itch.
What kind of fucking itches do they have?
Being a woman who knows her body and knows a little bit about how the vagina works, these women have yeast infections and they need to get treated.
You know, they sell creams for that shit.
They
it usually
do.
comes with the medication that you buy.
It does. And it's cheap. You can get it really cheap. It's like $2. But the thing is, though, is if you do get a yeast infection, that itch that you get from a yeast infection is one of the most itchiest of itches. It like goes into the depths of your cervix.
I will never forget the first time I got a yeast infection. I think I was 18 and I basically scratched like the first layer of skin off my vagina. Yeah. And I finally told Stephanie because I was too scared to tell mom because honestly I was fooling around with my boyfriend at the time. And so I thought maybe I did something wrong.
Right.
So I told Stephanie, she's like, oh my gosh, she's like, you totally have a yeast infection. She's like, how long has this been going on? I'm like a week. And she's like, oh my God. So she's like, oh my God. She's like, just go here. We'll go to the store and buy some stuff.
Jesus, you're gonna pee out a loaf of bread in a minute. Come on.
Oh my God. My whole thing was just like bright red. And it was just like, oh my God. It was like practically throbbing. And I was I was in so much agonizing pain. And
if you are someone who shaves your pubic region and when you decide not to shave it anymore and the hair growing back and that itch is something that you cannot quench the thirst of that itch. It's so bad. Yeast infection itches are 100 times worse. I
felt like I had been stung by like 1,000 mosquitoes.
It is unbearable. And I am not ashamed. I am ashamed to admit it, but I'll admit it. I have had that itch long ago and I will be in my car. I will look like I'm masturbating because the itch is so intense. You're like, oh my God. You're like, if anyone saw me right now, they think that I was fingering myself to death.
I think I got a washcloth one time and I just went to town.
And you're like,
I was just like,
it's like it is the most satisfying one to scratch, but it's unhealthy.
But it's horrible for you.
It's so bad that it's like chicken pox. Don't scratch it. Get the shit. Now I can understand why women would try the Vicks Vapor Rub thinking that the menthol would kind of burn the itch.
Yeah, that would hurt.
Although it probably feels really freaking good because
I don't know, man. I don't even know why. I don't even own Vicks Vapor Rub.
I don't either. Well, okay, yes, I do, but
I have
never
Vaseline.
used it.
I mean, I would probably try that first.
No, that would be worse. It would insulate. It would hurt. It would be horrible. But the thing is that when women are desperate, they'll do anything. You'll do anything. So I get where this might have occurred, but don't do it. It is dangerous. We have a lot of beautiful things going on down there that you can hurt. So just get the Monistat.
Yeah, go to Amazon or go to uglytruth.com.
Go to Amazon
and Google yeast infection. Jesus.
And you know what? It doesn't hurt to have it lying around. Just have it. You never know. I mean, sometimes you can get a flare up.
Every doctor that produces an article about vaginas, they say the same exact thing. It is self-cleaning.
Yeah, you don't need to do anything.
Just maybe when you're in the shower, a little soap and water. Nothing excessive. Don't get crazy.
Yeah, don't use sandpaper on it. Don't put things up there. Don't put glitter on it.
No Lysol or anything like that.
God, people used to use.
I know.
What was
Lysol
it?
as a
liquid Lysol
as a way to stop pregnancy.
That don't work.
No.
Why do you think so many women had 12 children back then? Lysol doesn't work.
Just get yourself a little loofah, do a little scrub, and then rinse.
And pat gently dry. It's crazy.
Trust me, I think men would prefer just a little soap and water over some freaking Vicks Vapor Rub.
Really? Oh my God. And I was, Daryl and I were talking about this. Oh, we were watching The King of Queens. And it was an episode where, and Kevin James is an overweight person on the show. And and Leah Remini was a stick. Mm-hmm. And the episode was, he felt she had gained some weight since they got married, right? And he had also seen a picture of her mother, who is morbidly obese. In the show, she's dead, but he saw a photo of her. And so he was concerned that she would start putting on the pounds as they stayed married. So he suggested that they go on a diet together. And she's like, what are you talking about? She goes, why do you keep saying we? And he's like, I don't know. I just da. So basically he told her, she's like, well, yes, I guess I have put on a little weight, but I'll take it off. He's like, well, you don't know you're perfect. Never mind. I'm sorry. She's like, I'm taking it off. So then, of course, it becomes a thing. And,
I can't even believe if someone who was obese told me I had gained some weight, I'm just like, I'd probably start laughing. And
exactly.
I'm like, am I getting punked?
I'm like, where's the
Ashton?
camera?
Like, seriously.
Where's Ashton? Yeah, exactly.
That would make me laugh.
So I'm watching this and I'm like, isn't it funny how women are I remember exactly the time when I started to become ashamed of my body. I was in 5th grade and I was at a swim party.
I remember this, yeah.
And a kid told me I had rolls. I was hunched over and I was eating a hot dog at the time when he said that. And so from that day on, I thought my stomach was gross. To this day, I still battle with that. I said, isn't it funny? Daryl can grab his stomach and make a face. He's like, bleh. He's like, look at how fat I am. I'm like, I can't in a million years imagine doing that to myself in front of you.
I do it to myself all the time.
Yeah, in private.
I'll chase my kids with it.
I would. Wow.
I'll try and make like a little mouth and be like, hey, Ryan, what's going on? And I'll just like,
yeah, but you also weighed.
He'll be like, Mom, stop.
You also weighed 98 when you weighed 98 pounds when you got pregnant. So
I know.
It's like, wow. It's like, I didn't realize how hard people were on women and their weight. It's so crazy. Men, it's not like that. And that show that we watch is an exact example of society in general. And that's my feminist rant for the day. Thank you. Good night.
All right. So,
Richville High School rules. Everyone eat the ho-hos. Woo! So anyway, I just thought it was really funny. All right, let's do our ugly and awkward moments of the week.
I've had a really odd sleep schedule recently. I've been going to bed at midnight and like waking up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
I think I have a lot on my mind.
Yeah.
But I do take medication to help me go to sleep at night. And so usually when I take it, it takes like maybe 45 minutes to kick in. And I'm going off of it now, but I had been on this like real big cereal binge before going to bed.
Your empty calories.
I know, right?
Asshole.
And so I was on this Rice Chex binge.
Ooh, I love the Rice Chex.
And so I was sitting there and I'm just like, I just have to get these in. But I was like almost falling asleep. But I'm like, I just want to bowl really fast.
Aww.
So I was eating the cereal, but I found myself like dozing. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is ridiculous.
Oh my God.
And so like I found myself almost falling asleep as I was eating the Rice Chex.
Wow.
I'm like, it's going to take me like 2 minutes to eat this.
Just
Paula.
eat it.
Just eat them and stay awake.
Right.
So all of a sudden, I was like, boo! And then
what did you do?
I felt something freezing on my body. I looked down. There's milk and Rice Chex all over my shirt.
Oh my God.
Pablo is covered in milk because, of course, he's right next to me.
Oh.
And there's
my
milk all over
God.
the couch. I had fallen asleep and spilled Rice Chex all over myself.
What? Are you drinking? Are you eating Ambien?
No, it's just my regular anti-anxiety stuff.
Wow.
But I had literally fallen asleep and holding a bowl of cereal and it spilled all over me.
You're like a baby.
And so I woke up and I'm like, I have Rice Chex on my chest.
Wow. And of course, there's no one there to witness it other than Pablo going, what are we doing? What has happened?
Well, he was like started shaking and then he started licking the couch.
Of course.
You know.
Wow,
There was
Paula.
free food. I know. I was so embarrassed. It's
That
like,
is
oh my
intensely
God.
awkward. Aren't you glad you don't have cameras in your house?
I know.
That
Well,
would be intense.
That would have been hilarious.
It would have. Oh my God! I would have
if I
laughed.
had cameras in my house, that would have been like that would have been a YouTube.
You would have gone viral.
I wonder. I don't know. So
Wow. Oh my God. Okay. So mine is also food related.
okay.
Now, of course, you didn't curse me because I already knew this would probably occur.
I know.
But you said don't be embarrassing at the fancy restaurant.
I guess I was just hoping that
We're always hopeful.
it would make you more aware.
No.
But
No. So we're at the French Laundry and we're walking and we haven't even sat down yet, where we have two people holding our chairs to seat us. And then this is the one thing you knew about a fancy restaurant is you don't immediately plop your ass down on the chair. You kind of hover so they can place it under you, and then you can seat and you're right close enough to the table. So you don't have to
I
go
always
ring,
find
ring.
that awkward because every time I do that, I'm always too far away, so I have to like scooch forward.
Well, I did ultimately end up having to do that when I had to go to the bathroom, which was also an awkward moment, but this was the first awkward moment. We're getting ready to sit down, and Dylan, our server, goes, "What kind of water would you like for the table? We have sparkling or flat. Which would you prefer?" So I didn't hear him clearly. So loudly, I claim, I'm like, "Oh, do you have Topo Chico here?" Now, Topo Chico is a sparkling water.
Oh, okay.
And I said, or I don't know, Pellegrino? And he's trying not to laugh. He's like, "Miss, we have our own filtration system here, so we actually have sparkling or flat on tap. So you just let us know which you prefer, and that's what we'll bring you if that's all right." And I'm like, "Oh, so not Topo Chico."
Oh my God, you're such a snob.
And I'm trying to joke about it in a room full of incredibly wealthy people who are trying to eat their first course.
See, of course, I would probably say something even dumber. I'd be like, "Do you have anything from Flint, Michigan, actually?"
So I just sat down and I was telling someone about this experience, and I said, and of course, very loudly requested Topo Chico or Pellegrino at a French restaurant.
Is Topo Chico like Italian or Spanish or something?
It's Mexico.
Oh, good old Mexicans.
Yeah, good old Mexican water. I said that, and I sat down. I went, "Topo Chico, really? Okay. At the French Laundry, one of the best restaurants in the entire planet. Sure, why not?"
Yeah,
Why not?
I'm sure they ship in the finest Mexican water.
for their fancy clients. So I I was like, okay, great. So I told someone about this, and because he's so kind, he's like, "Aw, you were overwhelmed." I'm like, I wish that was what it was, but that's not what it was.
You probably could have done something like, "Mom, do you have any crystal geysers?"
I know.
Or she'd be like, "Oh, actually, I have a water in my purse. I'll be fine."
Jeez. It was so embarrassing. And Daryl, of course, because he does nothing to create any awkward moments for himself, he's just sitting there going, wow, this is it. Okay, this is my way. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Great. So glad.
Oh, God.
So glad. Anyway, all right. Well, that's enough of that.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us. If you have some last minute shopping, there's still time. If you have Amazon Prime, go visit uglytruth.com, click on the Amazon button, get your backpacks, your back to school supplies, although you probably were just going to have to wait for the list. And then you can also visit lipandclip.com for makeup. That probably won't arrive before school, but still get it. It'll be fun because then you'll know by the time you get to school what everybody's wearing.
You'll know what the cool thing is.
Other than that, have a fabulous rest of your weekend, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.
Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Ugly Truth.